Are you the type of person who finds the MG4 a bit plain? Do you want more from your Nissan Leaf, something which ticks many more boxes? Well, let me introduce you to something called the Zeekr X. And this is going for the premium luxury end of the small EV market. However, I have one concern. Have they tried to stick far too many gadgets and make this way too luxury for a small EV? Well, there's only one way to find out. Welcome to the Fully Charged Show.
If you like the Fully Charged Show, then you'll love our live events. Next up, we're in Amsterdam for Fully Charged Live Europe on the 24th, 25th and 26th of November. Get your tickets today.
It's hard to keep track of what Geely are doing because seemingly they're doing everything, from the electrification of Lotus and Volvo to bringing out super vans to flying cars. I'm surprised they even have time to create a whole new EV brand, but that's what they have done with Zeekr. Now Zeekr, this is what they call their urban SUV. It's more like a hatchback really. But the most important thing is that this is underpinned by something called the SEA architecture. Now that is an architecture which underpins another car that Jack drove just a few months ago, the Smart #1. So this is going to be a really interesting comparison between the two. Now, whereas the Zeekr 001 was basically a Lynk & Co with an electric motor, the X is a striking new design direction for Zeekr, and I really like it because this has got to be a global design. It's got to be fitting for the Hutongs of Beijing as well as the Strassers of Berlin, and I think they've done a really good job. It's very striking, it stands out against the competition. However, I would say it does look like it's got a bit of a handlebar moustache with these LEDs down here. I quite like that. Pretty good looking back end, nice and sleek and slim, we like that. And the logo here lit up in LED. But what's most interesting is the boot opening is a button here. We like that little feature. Coming round the side, I also like this charging port because it's kind of flush and it's quite large, and if you press it, down it comes and reveals both your AC and DC fast charging. Great positioning, not so great if you hit a lamppost on that panel. These doors, no door handles at all. We've gone away from door handles. Door handles are so 2020. Here we are in 2023, you've got buttons to open the doors. Myself, not such a massive fan of that, but it does make the car look quite nice. Now the charging on this car is nothing spectacular. It's pretty much the standard for most Geely cars at the moment. So 30 to 80% battery is dispatched in 30 minutes for the 66 kilowatt hour battery underneath. And unfortunately you can't say go gadget range to get some more range, but luckily with that fast charging you shouldn't really need to. This has about 512 to 560 kilometers of CLTC range, also known as take it with a pinch of salt range. I think the WLTP is around 450 kilometers. So plenty enough for your urban runaround and to jump between cities as well. Now you'd be thinking with an urban SUV, practicality is very important, and yes it is. And this is why, by pressing this magic button, I present you with 362 litres of boot space. Not actually that much, certainly not class leading. I come with a forced floor, and of course I can fold those back seats down to get 1,182 litres of boot space. So you think, maybe they've redeemed themselves by having lots of space in the frunk. No, I don't really want to show you this, but I suppose I really have to in the thoughts of people who might buy this car. So go gadget frunk. And that's it. Now the Easter eggs really do continue on the interior. Now I can talk about how comfortable the seat is. It's very figure hugging actually. I quite like that. But what I want to talk about is the really smart features in here, which most other cars like this don't have. So first of all, there's a phone charger here. Now it's not just a phone charger, you slip your phone in there, whatever. It's actually got a rubber thing down here. If you slip your phone in, it holds it in place. So if you brake suddenly, it's not going to go flying forwards and smash your screen. But it's also got something even more surprising in here. So Go Gadget fridge. Yeah, that's a fridge. It's got a fridge in here. You can keep your drinks cool or warm in your own mini fridge in the front. So any passenger can actually grab a drink from there. That is cool. But probably the coolest thing is this Go Gadget screen. And now my passenger can enjoy playing with the controls of the car. Yes, I am lying down in the passenger seat because it's the most comfortable place to be in this car. Now, this is astounding for a car of this size. You see this on an SUV or an MPV, but this seat lays flat. So you can lay flat in this car. Now, what it's doing now is moving the back seat down. So if I'm laying flat, you can't have a passenger behind me, but that whole seat will rise up. So you can actually have a proper sleep in here. Now, obviously this is very feature rich, but also the material quality in here is a bit of a mix of really high quality and some lower quality stuff. So I've got this suede-y Alcantara thing all around here. Lovely handles. No one ever thinks about these handles, always nasty plastic things, but these are coated in the same lovely material. Up here as well, same material again. We've got this mauve color in here, which is horrific, but some people might like that. But then you come to the plastic on this door and it's really quite nasty. It's very cheap feeling, very cheap looking. Obviously it's not that important, it's down here, it's got to be rough, it's got to cope with people lifting their legs in and out every day. But again, there's some nice features, lovely metal switch down here for the window, and I've got this to open the door, which is annoying, but at least it's metal and it feels quite nice. So this is very feature rich for everyone. The driver's got loads of things to do. I've got loads of things to do, or just sleep. And then I can play with the Go Gadget screen or drink a Go Gadget drink from my drinks fridge. I'm actually shocked about how much they've packed into this car. And I think this would resonate with an international audience as well as a Chinese one. Now there's so much in this car to talk about that I'm almost forgetting that we have to drive this as well, because there's so many gadgets in the back, even for the back passengers as well. So let's just get in and talk about some of these. Now, first of all, you'll notice the seat pitch is actually quite surprising. I'm actually sunk, my bum is quite sunk quite a long way back into this seat. Of course, got lots of leg room. I've pushed this seat really far back actually. But what the overall feeling in the back is of premium quality, and I think that's what they really want to go for. They've got these hangers for your jacket up here, really solid metal hangers, not plastic, not nasty, like brassy coloured. They're lovely. That Alcantara suede follows around in the back here, and of course topped off by that massive glass window. I've got another cubby in here where the middle passenger should be sitting, so I can put some chocolate bars or whatever in there. And then this obviously pulls down. Again, really nice design detail of the opening. Just a very well thought out, all the small details, 2 cups, 2 USB chargers, and it just feels very well put together, very well thought out for everyone in this car. Often the back passengers get a little bit left behind in terms of features and comfort, but with the Zeekr X, they've got a real winner on their hands with this car because there is so much in here for the passengers. So the driving experience of the X is fairly typical of most Chinese EVs at the moment. Nothing to write home about. Feedback is fairly standard. You don't get much feeling for the road. But in actual fact, this feels much more like the BYD Atto 3 or Yuan Plus or one of those cars. Now, of course, this car comes in a number of different flavors, and it has 0 to 60 times ranging from, I think, 5.6 seconds, which is ridiculous, up to 3.8 seconds, which is frankly terrifying. Now, of course, EU prices haven't been announced yet, but in China, this car comes in about 190,000 RMB for the single motor one to, I think, 210,000 RMB for the dual motor one. So not a great deal of money in that really competitive segment with a lot of different cars. Now, with a lot of the cars that I drive, sometimes you can really begin to feel the weight of the car, especially when you're going around corners. But this actually feels quite planted, and I like that feeling. Now, it's a not a light car. It comes in at 1900 kilograms, which is almost 2 tons. So it's a bit of a hefty car as well. But this will go head-to-head competition with the Smart #1 and with the BYD Atto. I do think this offers a more refined driving experience than the Atto 3, for example. The Smart, you have to look at Jack's video to see what he thought of that. But I think Jack would like this car as well, especially in that spicy hot version of this one against the Smart #1 Brabus version. Now that would be a fun comparison.
Please support our Stop Burning Stuff Patreon and help us tackle misinformation about electric vehicles and clean energy.
I'm actually blown away by how much Zeekr have managed to pack into the X. It's amazing value for money, especially when you consider the size of it as well. But if you want to see me driving another Zeekr car very fast around a very wet racing circuit, then check out my Zeekr 001 video over here. And if you want to see another car based on the same architecture as this one, then Jack's got his Smart #1 video down here.